The coronavirus induced major changes in our daily experience. Its impact on the schools caused them closing, and empty classrooms have been substituted by distance teaching and learning. Suddenly, the use of digital technologies have had an unprecedented development. For many countries and their school system, this has supposed not a development or an acceleration, but a real cultural discontinuity. Therefore, in my opinion, the idea that this is only a question of technical use of digital devices for the distance education is a simplistic approach. Let me start from Deloitte's report published in July 2016. They do write, the rate of change has accelerated, forcing organizations to respond and reposition themselves quickly to meet new challenges in our highly connected, fast-changing world. Black swan events, those of low probability and high impact, also seem to be more likely. The black swan is a metaphor described in 2007 by a statistician of Lebanese American origin, Nassim Taleb. That's to describe extremely rare events that come as a surprise and could cause catastrophic effects on the economy. These events only can be rationalized after the fact, as they can be predicted. It's very difficult to face them with systems' normal resources. The term is based on the ancient idea that swans could only be white and black. Swans didn't exist until they were found in the wild. In fact, ex post, you can't imagine that the black events, swan events, could be, if not predicted, let's imagine it. But this is an error about coronavirus. Just think about the declaration of Bill Gates in 2015 or Obama. The report continues. Understanding the impact of gig economy, robotics and cognitive technologies on education, skills and career development will be crucial to ensuring countries are able to manage risks and opportunities presented by workforce dynamics for inclusive economic growth. Businesses will need to focus on and articulate the capabilities and skills they will need now and into the next 5 to 10 years. Government, business, society need to work together to support a dynamic workforce that is able to constantly reskill and upskills. The coronavirus could be considered a strong case of black swan. Closing the classrooms, it has forced the educational institutions, both schools and universities, to modify their approach to teaching, starting a likely non-reversible trend. A number of teachers were already using new technologies, but too many of them considered technologies unfriendly, if not antagonistic. These teachers are now connected online with their students, many of them. The concept itself of teaching has changed, moving from providing information to give students arguments and motivation to be involved in teaching learning dynamic. Evaluation will possibly change too. In schools, an important percentage of students, mainly from disadvantaged background, don't have tablets, PC devices or connection. And many senior teachers don't have the required training. They are, as we say, digital immigrants. The good news are that also in this difficult situation, there has been a great number of experimentation. The higher education may be was more ready to use this methodology, enhancing the existing courses and classes at a distance. As for the future, I see two contrasting risks. On one side, people hoping to be back to the old, reassuring, traditional teaching form. On the other, enthusiastic people thinking that new technologies will erase the old school. In my opinion, the educational relation in the classroom cannot be substituted. New technologies should be integrated, a very useful integration, in a school, at least student-centered, not teacher-centered. To use marketing terms, we can start thinking about students as prosumers of education, at the same time producer and consumers. Thus, the basic challenge for the educational system, from school to university to vocational education to long life learning, is more complex. The labor market and the society as a whole will need different competencies for a world that is changing in an unpredictable way in relationships, networking, community building, culture, socialization, and more. Not technology, but the virus is possibly pushing us to this change. The World Economic Forum in 2015 underlines that culture has to evolve with technology, and schools must teach not only the different subjects, but to be fully human. Youth will learn not only in schools, but throughout life, in a shared world where everyone could accede to the same resources, in a kind more democratization in education. Education and competencies will be crucial for that change. Therefore, education will need different teachers and different principals too, with different qualification. Perhaps we could reconsider the definition by David Schoen that teaching is a professional artistry, combining creativity and professionality. Educational and policymakers should think about a way to change curriculum methods and the relation between them and the labor market. Families and communities' participation should be less formal in an enlarged system whose idea is still the same as that in the 90s. Who are the actors? Which are the integration modalities between the actors? Well, just to finish with a joke, the idea that we don't need to be open to new challenges is very dangerous. In 1962, a DECA manager refused the demo of a band, of a group, pointing that I don't like their style and the guitar is no more trendy. The group, by the way, were the Beatles.